Omaha's news leader. This is KETV Newswatch 7's Chronicle.
Good morning. We hope you enjoyed your holiday. Thanks for joining us on KETV Newswatch 7's Chronicle. I'm Bill Schammert. Today, our year in review. We take a look at the top stories of 2025. Sadly, some of the year's biggest headlines were tragic ones, beginning in February with the death of a Nebraska State Trooper killed in the line of duty. Investigators say Trooper Kyle McCasey responded to a crash on I-80 after our car hit the back of a snowplow. It was a Monday morning, a snowstorm, February 17th. McCasey spoke with the plow driver outside the truck while another trooper tended to a driver in a ditch. Troopers believe McCasey asked the plow driver to move the truck from the median to the shoulder. McCasey was returning to help other vehicles when the plow reversed, hitting and killing him before fellow troopers could reach him. Chronicle's Quinicia Fraser covered the story when it broke and has this tribute.
Trooper Kyle McCasey leaves behind a fiance who says McCasey is, quote, the kind of man you only meet once in your life. In his statement to KETV, Spencer Ryan says this city and this state lost a true hero tonight, just like I lost mine. We may have only been together for a few years, but it always felt like we knew each other for lifetimes over. Hug your loved ones because you never know what can happen. Trooper McCasey spent 10 years with the Nebraska State Patrol, and several social media posts through the years shed light on his service to his community. A September 2022 post on X shows McCasey with the kitten that he rescued. In July of 2024, he was awarded for working on the crisis negotiation team for 5 years. Another post shows him at Gretna Days. In a news release, NSP says, along with being a crisis negotiator, McCasey also served in the patrol division and carrier enforcement. He was stationed in Omaha. NSP Superintendent Colonel John Bolduc says, quote, our NSP family is devastated today. He added, Kyle was a dedicated trooper, a devoted public servant, and most importantly, a good friend to many in Omaha and beyond. Through the Omaha Police Department's X account, Chief Todd Schmaderer says he spoke with Colonel Bolduc and has, quote, pledged any resources the Omaha Police Department can provide during this difficult time. Nebraska Governor Jim Pillen and his wife also extended their condolences, saying, quote, we are deeply saddened and our thoughts and prayers are with the family and friends of Trooper McCasey. His loss is a reminder of the call to service bravely demonstrated by our law enforcement personnel every day. We know Trooper McCasey's death will be felt deeply by his NSP family.
On February 27th, Omaha police motorcycles led the procession. Some traveled across the country to honor McCasey, bringing different branches of law enforcement together in support. KETV brought you the entire funeral live, on air, and online. Following the funeral, the Nebraska State Patrol honored Trooper McCasey with a full 21-gun salute. A 21-gun salute is one of the highest honors that can be rendered. On April 15, 3 teenage girls went missing after being swept away. They were fishing in the Missouri River near NP Dodge Park. The bodies of 18-year-olds Liana Green and Lake Trey Moo, along with 11-year-old A. Cresmu, were recovered after a 2-week search. It brought heartache but closure to the families. The girls were laid to rest on May 15th. Hundreds packed the church to say their final goodbyes. The families bonded together by tragedy. Chronicle's Waverly Monroe was there.
It was a celebration of life at Salem Baptist Church.
It hurt so much, I couldn't find the word.
Lake Trey Moo, Liana Green, and A. Cray Moo drowned in the Missouri River a month ago today.
It don't feel right knowing that we are here for them. I'm still in shock. I don't understand. I don't know why.
That's Green's sister and the Moo family, still trying to come to terms with the tragedy.
She was supposed to see me in white, be the aunties of my kids, and grow old together. I know I won't say it enough, but I love and miss you every day.
The 3 lives were cut short on April 15th. First responders reported 3 girls were swept into the Missouri River while they were fishing. Their bodies were recovered 2 weeks ago. The community, along with first responders, spent days looking for the girls. Now some of those same community members attended the funeral.
I feel like we don't know them personally, but we know them. You know, the Omaha community in North Omaha is very close-knit, and we really do come out and support each other.
Prayers lifted the families up as they said their final goodbyes.
La pueda tata sagnya muatu payo tabluduma Siblina learn to like totally he could do tota.
I believe with all my heart because goodness and mercy said, let me bring these babies back home.
And then I hope that we'll meet again someday. Thank you.
These stories aren't just about big headlines. They're about tremendous loss in our communities, loss of life, and loss of infrastructure. Our next one takes us to Fremont. A plant explosion at the end of July took the lives of 3 people, a father and his 2 daughters. Here's Chronicle's Aaron Hegarty, who followed the breaking news for weeks.
3 flowers on a fence outside the Horizon biofuel plants in Fremont honor the lives lost. 32-year-old Dylan Danielson and his 2 daughters, 12-year-old Haven and 8-year-old Faya. Midday on July 29th, the South Fremont plant exploded. The girls were in the break room waiting for their father ahead of a doctor's appointment. According to a new report from the U.S. Chemical Safety and Hazard Investigation Board, the general manager of the plant was working from home when he heard about the explosion. He called the day shift operator, Danielson, who answered and said he was trapped. Danielson then called his wife and told her he was pinned down. The report says the break room where the girls were waiting was part of the structure that immediately collapsed. It says witnesses heard the operator call for help. Some of them entered the collapsed warehouse area but couldn't reach Danielson. Investigators say they still haven't been able to go inside the building to investigate further. That's because it's unsafe. You can see it appears almost untouched since that explosion, and investigators say it could collapse at any time. The report again confirms it was a combustible dust explosion, though the board's still working on what led to it. Regardless, the chair of the board says in a statement, quote, "This terrible tragedy should not have happened." Another board member says they're, quote, "committed to a thorough, independent investigation. We owe it to the victims, their families, and the broader community to identify the root causes and share important safety lessons."
That's Aaron Hegarty reporting. A help an officer call is one of the worst things we can hear over our newsroom police scanner. But just this December, Newswatch 7 broke into programming with breaking news that not 1, but 4 Omaha police officers were hurt in a shooting at a Quick Trip, along with an innocent bystander just hours earlier. Luckily, all of them survived, but we found out the suspect had a long rap sheet. Here's Chronicle's Beth Carlson.
28-year-old Juan Melgar Ayala is who police say shot a 61-year-old man several times in the chest Wednesday before firing an officer several hours later. KETV found new information on Melgar Ayala's criminal history. Court documents show he pleaded no contest to 2 counts of burglary in Douglas County in 2021. He also has pleaded guilty to several traffic misdemeanors. Thursday, Omaha police released new information on both shootings and body camera photographs. Police say around 12:30 that afternoon, Michael Casper got out of his car at Phil's Cash Saver and grabbed a grocery cart. They say that's when Melgar Ayala got out of his vehicle and shot at Casper. Investigators recovered 15 casings from the parking lot. OPD says detectives and gang unit officers were following up on that shooting when they matched a license plate in South Omaha to the suspect's vehicle. It led them to the Quick Trip on 32nd and L Street. Police say they saw a man matching Melgar Ayala's description entering the men's restroom and requested additional police. Officers tried to make contact with Melgar Ayala, yelling his name and giving commands. They say he left a stall and fired at officers near the restroom entrance. That's when investigators say one officer was struck by gunfire and another by shrapnel. Police then positioned themselves outside the door and declared a help an officer call. Officers repeatedly shouted commands for the suspect to come out in both English and Spanish, and safely removed a bystander who was not hurt. Less than 2 minutes later, Melgar Ayala exited and fires at officers again. Police returning fire, striking the gunman multiple times. Officers provided life-saving measures, but Melgar Ayala died at the scene. Police say in all, 4 Omaha officers were hurt, including one who was grazed in the gunfire. Omaha's police chief says all officers and the victim of the grocery store shooting are expected to survive.
All 4 injured officers have since been released from the hospital. An ICE operation at Glen Valley Foods in June sparked protest across the community. Dozens of immigrants believed to be here illegally were detained. Madison Perales spoke with LULAC's president and walks us through some of the footage from that ICE operation.
Stay back for a minute. We're going to be busy here, okay?
Immigration and Customs Enforcement sent KETV this footage showing Glen Valley Foods workers hiding when ICE agents showed up Tuesday.
Come here, show your hands! Manos arriba!
You can see as ICE agents rounded people up, they put them in the cafeteria, putting a mixture of standard and pre-made zip tie handcuffs on people. The video shows agents took fingerprints and took them to a detention center. The video does not say where these workers were taken. The National LULAC team flew in Wednesday to discuss the matter with state and local leaders and are here to support the community. The Latino advocacy group's president, Roman Palomares, says he's unhappy with the way the agency is handling these raids.
We feel that it's not being carried out the way it should in accordance with the law. We currently don't have any communication with ICE. We have in the past, talked to the federal government, to the administration, but we have not had a lot of communication with this current administration.
State and local leaders visited with LULAC to show solidarity on the recent ICE raid. The goal is to help families.
Many of us have people that we know that have been detained, and so we just want to focus on trying to get them resources and legal representation, especially for families that have been impacted.
That's Douglas County Commissioner Roger Garcia, who made an appearance. Councilman Ron Hugg was also there. He says he wished ICE communicated better.
If the federal government could have disseminated some information early on, we would not have seen this mushroom into what it's become today.
Senator Denixie Gureca says he feels the support from LULAC.
I mean, it shows that this is a very serious issue, right? That we matter, that the folks, the hardworking people of Omaha, of Nebraska matter.
He did an exclusive interview with Homeland Security about the operation. Nebraska's Assistant Special Agent in Charge, Elric Serdan, says the Glen Valley Foods operation was planned several weeks in advance. He says their goal was to execute the operation safely and to coordinate with federal, state, and local partners. Serdan explains HSI focuses on investigations into transnational criminal organizations that break the law in the U.S. Serdan says they found over 100 stolen identity victims as part of the investigation that led to the operation at Glen Valley Foods.
We have some victims that have lost student aid because of their stolen identities. We have others that have had issues obtaining health insurance, others that haven't been able to renew their driver's licenses because of unpaid speeding tickets, and not to mention there may be tax implications coming down the road because these people have earned income apparently at Glen Valley Foods.
Serdan says they reviewed every case of a person detained and did release some who were working legally in the U.S. or for special circumstances. That includes medical conditions or if they were the sole provider for their family. Many of the court cases tied to this operation are still playing out. Next on KETV News Watch 7's Chronicle, the Oracle of Omaha drops a bombshell that will change the future of Berkshire Hathaway forever. We'll be right back.